biggest on the day of judgment. We also hear hadith that Umar, the Prophet, is going to be the biggest and the most successful and all of that, right? So how do we reconcile both?
You see, you will not be on Islam. Allah said in Surah Al-Ma'idah, فَسَوْفَ يَأْتِ اللَّهُ بِقَوْمٍ Allah will create another nation. So Bangladeshis and Pakistanis and Arabs, they will abandon Islam, and Allah will make Chinese or Vietnamese or Russians, they will accept Islam. Islam will remain. Quran will be intact. The Quran will be protected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until the day of judgment. But we don't, there is no guarantee about us and our children that whether they will be on Islam or not. Yes, you have a question. Somebody else do it.
No, I do have one observation that if you look at the history, according to this, your statistics, that from the very beginning, you can see most of the prophets, they face the problem or the obstacles of threat from their own people. Like today, you can see that the Muslim leaders or the governments, they are the main threat to Islam. Because most of the prophets, you can see Bani Israel, they were killed by their own people. Yes. And they claimed that at that time they are a Muslim. They claimed that they are Muslim. Today we can see the same thing happening. The Muslim governments, they are claiming they are the Muslims, and they are claiming that they are the, you can say that the leader of the Muslim, whereas they are killing the real Islamic leaders.
So the situation demands what? Yes, you are 100% right, but what shall we do? You see, that is the role of leadership. Youth should come, they should be master of Quran, they should be the master of Sunnah, and they should come for a revival. And we should make da'wah. So what we need, Islamic movements. If Islamic movements are made rich, then only. But to be an Islamic movement, the leadership should be in the hands of knowledgeable people who have command in Quran and Sunnah. We need to develop such kind of leadership. If that leadership comes, you can invade nations, no problem. Without brain, without leadership, no nation can gain the power.
Achievement.
So,
the Wahhabi Tahreek was also actually the grassroots group. They started in the state of Yahudiya, and they actually started making dawah.
yes.
And then they succeeded, and finally they got in the power.
But when they got the power, they did not fulfill the promises. It always happens.
No, but this was actually in their time when they succeeded. At that time, nothing happened after next generation.
Yes, of course.
The next generation, yeah. So this means actually what you are, the explanation of his question, the brother's question, is that right now we are also oppressed, and our governments are going in the wrong direction.
So we should play our role in our time.
Exactly.
You see, and the role of our next generation depends upon our role. And the role of the next generation after the second generation depends on our children. So we should have nursery, for the movement, and it will grow, and there will be big trees in the future. We should play our role. Yes, brother.
There is a notion among Jewish community that during the time of Prophet Muhammad, the Bani Qurayza has been executed, and that was not justified. Definitely it was justified, but how do we combat that claims?
You see, you should know the whole history. As soon as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam reached Medina, he signed an agreement with these Jewish tribes. It was a 90-point agenda. What was it? That if any force attacks Medina, if they attack on Jews, Muslims shall protect them. And if Muslims are attacked, the Jewish people will support us. And both will bear the expenses of war. You see, because they are all citizens of that state. That was the agreement. But they were making conspiracies. So the first tribe was forced to leave Medina, that was Banu Qaynuqa, in the second Hijri, because they cheated, during the Battle of Badr. And after 2 years, in 4 Hijri, Banu Nadir were, expelled, because again, they breached the contract and they had links with the foreign forces. Now, after 1 year, in the 5th Hijri, when all the forces from the Arab, in Quraysh, not only Quraysh, Banu Fuzara and Banu Sulaym, and from Najd, from east and west and north and south, from Yemen, all the tribes came and they encircled Medina. And Quraysh were led. At that time, this tribe of Bani Qurayza, they were in direct contact with them, and they showed their animosity. So at that time, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came back from the war of Trench, and a wind came and all the foreign forces were dispersed. He came back to his house, but immediately Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam came, and the wahi came, and it said that immediately go to Bani Qurayza. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ordered that everybody should pray Salatul Asr at Banu Qurayza. Okay, and then there was negotiations. They were encircled. They said, yes, we have done this. We breached the contract. We were not honest and faithful. They accepted that. But they said, we will not accept Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the judge. And our friends, old friends for 100 years, are the tribe of Aus. Aus. There were 2 tribes there, but Khazraj and Aus. So Aus was a small tribe, and the chief was Mu'az, Sa'd bin Mu'az Ausi. Sa'd al-Aus. So Sa'd was the chief, and he was injured in this war of Trench. So he was brought in a state that he was bleeding. And the distance between Medina and Qurayza was about 6 miles. It is very close to Quba, where Qurayza was there. And he came on a donkey with the help of a person, and all on the road he was bleeding. The blood could see. And he made a decision. He said, it was because they accepted, they said Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will not be the judge, but Sa'd bin Mu'az al-Awsi will be the judge. And he gave the decision that all their ladies will be made captives and their men will be killed. So it was, their own choice. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have made a different decision. But This was their fate because of their deeds.
Yes, I do have this another observation.